Yeah. Uja, yes, we can start.
Uja, greetings. Can you hear me?
Uja, yes, I hear.
One moment. Uja, greetings. I am Sunu Setnahasra. Welcome to our early morning ancient Egyptian devotional dedicated to Goddess Net and all her mystic forms, gods and goddesses, who are derived from her transcendental essence. The liturgy, which you will be able to see on screen, is recited in the ancient Egyptian language, the Medu Neter. English and Brazilian Portuguese translations is provided for you. You can see these translations on screen directly below the hieroglyphic text transliteration. You are welcomed to participate by chanting along in your worship space or home, or wherever you may happen to be during our service. Or you are also welcome to listen quietly in a contemplative mode. Following the devotional, Uwashu, recitation of the liturgy and meditation, Uwa, practice, we will have a brief wisdom, rec teaching by Sivu Kepra'am, leader and priest of the Shatout Neter Temple of Net. Before we begin, please remember to mute all devices. We will now begin. Presented on the screen at the moment is a stone-carved depiction of the facing pylons of the Temple of Net from the statue of Penat. On the left and right sides are the pylons in which one of the symbols of Goddess Net sits atop a papyrus standard. Her emblem is her two arrows crossed and tied to her shield. This symbolizes the protection and resurrection of the soul within this place, the temple. Behind the emblems of Net on both sides are the flags which mean Neter, divinity. In the center of the pylons at the bottom is the opening to the temple, and above that is the pyramidal structure which symbolizes the four equilateral planes of the universe and the mystic number 4. Above that, at the very top, is the cow hieroglyph symbol, which means rising. So it symbolizes the sun rising between the mountains, the Aket symbol, and for the initiate, the emergence of spirit consciousness. Nasu Napu Nato Nuna Jeras Nasu Etatina Potori Blanket Net and Upset Net and Time Yom Had Hurt at SSN and Had No Benign and Jedi.
Net nesut mi bu netehim inem. Jedef nesut hetep jinet bikiru. Minket min im heb set neb in kain. Geri heb her tep es in im het net. Hinat rines jeta.
That Mesuma Punato Nuna Jedef Mesu Etatima Pokoi Banket Mert and Hepset Mert and Time Gary Herta SSN and had now when I ran after
Net nesut mi bu netehim inem. Jedef nesut hetep jinet bikiru. Minker berim heb set neb en kain. Geri heb het tep es en im het net. Hinat ben ef jetam.
that Mesuma Punato Nuna Jedef Mesu Etatima Pokoi Banket Mert and Hepset Mert and Time Yom Hot SSN from heaven when I ran after time.
Net nesut mi bu netehem inem. Jedef nesut hetep jinet bekiru. Minker min im heb set neb en kain. Geri heb het tep es en im het net. Hinat ben ef jetam.
That Mesuma Punato Nuna Jedef Mesu Etatima Pokoi Banket Mert and Hepset Mert and Time Yom Hot SSN and had known that I was Jedi.
Net nisut mi bu netehem inem. Jedef nisut hetep jinet bekeru. Minkit mit im heb set neb en kai. Gere heb hertep es en im het net. Hinat ren es jetan.
Wow. Considering everybody Fuji. So check it out.
Dua hamu. Shit efu ben FN hiru akuchi. Anetesh herkera. Nefeneb uben.
Wow. Era fubona faheri wa Fuji. Ante chekera.
Dua hamu. Shit efu ben FN hiru akuchi. Anetesh herkera. Nefeneb uben.
Wow. Era fubona faheri wa Fuji. Ante chekera. Sono buben.
Dua hamu. Shit efu ben FN hiru akuchi. Anetesh herkera. Nefeneb uben.
Ari Jen Separate. Passage Buben. Kes Buben. Lasuki Vatep Nepoturu. Didi Stawa Bamuna. Nefer Shepsi. Egna. Ote.
Nisuji hetep net pikeru. DDS kahwa bamuneb nefeshepsi. Hetnet. Hetep.
Lasuki Vatep Nepoturu. Didi Asawa Amuna Nefer Shepsi. Egna. Ote.
Nisuji hetep net pikeru. DDS kahwa bamuneb nefeshepsi. Hetnet. Hetep.
Yasuti Hatapna Poteri Diri Asawa Amona Shepsi Hatna Hatan
Nisuji hetep net pikeru. DDS kahwa bamuneb nefeshepsi. Hetnet. Hetep.
Yasuti Hatapna Poteri Diri Asawa Amona Shepsi Hatna Hatan
Nisuji hetep net pikeru. DDS kahwa bamuneb nefeshepsi. Hetnet. היטב.
Tua em shamsu en nebejer seshu in kepen. Dua asar nebrestal. Paut netaru. At amin netakert. Anatet shir kekenti. Amentet. Un nefer. Ab abdu. Matentu. Ai hu. Anek arati. Restal. Seteta. Sepet. Aku. Sari nas. Uber center. Sept enkan. Def seat notan. Oni entet. Hena yashem neten. Asar. Erdit endet. En ari heru. Hena hermo. Endes ari heru. Aus uatepi. Body sets. Ab. Ua neter. Abu pen ha asar. Abu pen asar. Spur and peru. Arit Bert. Nehas Sa. Uajit pa meter. Asa Ari Heru. Hept em. A set. Abuya Tuchen. Meduje Ian. Aset Sam Ujent. Setep Saher Amseti. Enti Amsa Asa. Sa Amset. Asa Amset. Meduje Ian. Nebehet. Hapsheta. Ari Besa. Her happy. Enti Sa. Asar Sa. Papi. Asar Pu Papi. Meduje Yan. Netseduara. Semesha Hu. Net Ari Maket En. Duamuta. Enti. Amsa Asar. Sa Duamuta. Asar Pu Duamuta. Meduje Yan. Seket. Inkake Sekadet. Sahu. Neb. Ari Maket. Enquepsule. Entet. Amsa Asar Sa. Quepsule. Asar Pu Quepsule. Shetta Yamato Shetta Nebajer Je Anata Chirke Asar Pucho Aki Sapi Setu Sapapi
Yanetet. I am Nuem Duatsheta. Yanetet. I am Nuem Duatsheta. Nibejeh Jej. Anitesh. Her Asa. Putra. Makdi Sake. Setu Sakake.
Nebajer Je Anata Chirke Asar Pucho Aki Sapi Setu Sapapi
Nibejeh Jej. Anitesh. Her Asa. Putra. Makdi Sake. Setu Sakake.
Nebajer Je Anatecheke Asan, Putra, Maki Sapi, Setu Sapapi,
Nibejeh Jej. Anitesh. Her Asa. Putra. Magdi Saki. Setu Sakake.
Nebajer Je, Anatecheke Asan, Putra, Maki Sapi, Setu Sapapi,
Nibejeh Jej. Anitesh. Her Asa. Putra. Magdi Saki. Setu Sakake.
Nebajer Je, Anatecheke Asan, Putra, Maki Saki, Setu Sapapi,
Nibejeh Jej. Anitesh. Her Asa. Putra. Magdi Saki. Setu Sakake.
Adi Jen Sekert, Adi Duaker, Ethal Buashu, Ne Duane, Sefekira Selians,
Net net luanet sefek keras in hues.
Ne Duane, Sefekira Selians,
Net net luanet sefek keras in hues.
Ne Duane, Sefekira Selians,
Net net luanet sefek keras in hues.
Ne Duane, Sefekira Selians,
Net net luanet Sefek Kera Senhues.
Mu Kansu
Amun Mu Konsu.
Amun Mu Kansu
Amun Mu Konsu.
Amun Mu Su
Amun Konsu.
Amun Mu Kansu
Amun Mu Konsu.
Om Amun Rapacham
Om Amorapta.
Om Amun Rapacham
Om Amorapta.
Om Namo Rapacham.
Om Amorapta.
Om Namo Rapacham.
Om Amorapta.
Om Asa Sevu.
Om Asak Aset Hilu.
Om Asa Sevu.
Om Asad Aset Hilu.
Om Asa Sevu.
Om Asad Aset Hilu.
Om Asa Sevu. Peru Ma Peru.
Hiru Makiru.
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 Send send send
Asit. Asit. Asit.
send send send
Asit. Asit. Asit.
send send send
Asit. Asit. Asit.
send Ascend,
Ascend, ascend, ascend.
Mauna, Nebe, Abuja, Sele, Arivate,
Ama au enora nebed ang ujasenen arinetiru
Mauna, Nebe, Abuja, Sele, Arivate,
ama au enora nebed ang ujasenen arinetiru
Amauna, Nebe, Abuja, Sele, Arivate,
ama au enora nebed ang ujasenen arinetiru
Amauna, Nebe, Anjas elementary
ama
to
au enra nebet ang ujasenen arineteru
Luke at the end chapteru
luk atien keperu
Luke at the end chapteru Luke at the end chapteru
luk atien keperu
Luke at the end chapteru
luk atien keperu
Eteru Eteru
eteru eteru eteru
Eteru Eteru Eteru Eteru
eteru eteru eteru eteru
Eteru Eteru Eteru Eteru
eteru eteru eteru eteru
Eteru Eteru Eteru Eteru
eteru eteru eteru eteru
Dua tu heru. Dua tu heru.
Dua tu heru. Dua tu keru.
Dua tu heru. Dua tu heru.
Dua tu heru. Dua tu heru.
Dua tu heru. Dua tu heru.
Dua tu heru. Dua tu keru.
Dua tu heru. Dua tu heru.
Dua tu heru. Dua tu keru.
Luke Nebejan.
Luke Nebijan.
Luke Nebejan.
Luke Nebijan.
Luke Nebejan.
Luke Nebijan.
Luke Nebejan.
Luke Nebijan.
Nefer Ramsha Aton.
Nefer Remtra en Atom.
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 Maperu and Ba Nebejan.
Makheru Wemba Nebije.
Makeru and Ba Nebejan.
Makheru Wemba Nebije.
Makeru and Ba Nebejan.
Makheru Wemba Nebije.
Makeru and Ba Nebejan.
Makheru Wemba Nebije.
Luke Ua Ua.
Look, Ua Kua.
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 Luke Maat, Luke Maat, Luke Maat, Luke Maat.
Look Maat. Look Maat. Look Maat. Look Maat.
Luke Maat, Luke Maat, Luke Maat, Luke Maat.
Look Maat. Look Maat. Look Maat. Look Maat.
Luke Maat, Luke Maat, Luke Maat, Luke Maat.
Look Maat. Look Maat. Look Maat. Look Maat.
Luke Maat, Luke Maat, Luke Maat, Luke Maat.
Look Maat. Look Maat. Look Maat. Look Maat.
Roots.
Newt.
Roots.
Newt. Newt. Newt.
Newt.
Newt.
Asa, 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 asa.
Asa. Asa. Asa. Asa. Asa.
Asa, 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 asa.
Asa. Asa. Asa. Asa.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
Asa. 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 Asa.
Awesome, 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 awesome.
Asa. 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 Asa.
Pete au, ankve, uas hena nepu, kepetu, embat, emdijasu, sunu ayam hotel. Aset, Rua Sujahel, Sujamenut, Nebu Sen, F set, F sen, Asar Aset, Etepi, Suja Awunitu Yasho, Nesheshu Nebu, Emhu, Shemu Met Metu, Tau, Sep Nebu, Neshteta, Uwa Menti, Eru Put, Teken, An Apt, Tesu, Ken, Hena, Sefa Ara, Dejit Tat, Hena, Asa Peta, Peperu, Medut Ram, Tat Nefi, Asa Peperu, Uahai, Uaker. Luke Aset, Perke, Naim, Ret Enam, Seter Sa, Medu and Jehuti, Tep Maat, Pet, Ta Atert, Aset Neter, Nefer, Gur, Hu Ankh Seste, SDA Ament, Sa Enken, Hu F Enin, Au F, Ready F, Nepket, Dit Etet, F Her, FT, Ent, NF, Tawi, Uahai, Uaker, Peru, Peru,
Hiruma Hiru.
Peru, Peru,
Hiruma Hiru.
Peru, Peru,
Hiruma Hiru.
Peru, Peru,
Hiruma Hiru.
Nut Kepler, En Duau, Ra Emahau, Temu Ami Mashir.
Nuk Kapra M Duau. Ra en Auf. Temu Ami Mashidu.
Nuk Kepler, Em Duau, Ra Em Ahau, Temu Ami Mashir.
Nuk Kapra M Duau. A M Ahauf. Temu Ami Mashidu.
Nuk Kepler, Em Duau, Ra Em Ahau, Temu Ami Mashir.
Nuk Kapra M Duau. Ra en Ahauf. Temu Ami Mashidu.
Uahai, Uaker. Sense. Two, two, ooh, ne, just city, G-Shari, master, master, ooh, never, just city, G-Shari, master, two, ooh, never, da, da, just city, G-Shari. Never, never, I just say sorry. That's the larger. Oh, never, I just say sorry. Uashari, uatef Emma, te, te, Peace, 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 peace. Atep, dua, atep.
Dua, Hotep.
Just one moment. I'm pulling up the document now. So Uja, I think we will call off the mini lecture because the document is buried somewhere. I'm trying to find it. It'll probably take a while to pick it up. So we'll pick up with the pyramids next week. So once again, dua everyone, and we'll be back next week with our devotion and discussion. Hete. Any questions or objections or anything? Any thoughts? Okay, I could show you something. I'll show you this. This is interesting. Okay. This is what we started in one of the other classes. I'll share the screen with you. And this is on the roof of the Temple of Aset, actually. So you have to walk up a flight of stairs near the back of the temple to get to the roof. And then you find this panel. And on the right, you have the Purdah. And we know he's the Purdah because it says it here in a cartouche. It says Purdah right here. Purdah is what has been translated by Egyptologists to mean Pharaoh. But it actually means great house. You can see he's smiting one of the enemies who is actually adoring him. And he has a club, and this is a mystic metaphor. The enemy represents the inimical forces that tries to counter your spiritual evolutionary process. And he is wearing what is referred to as the blue crown. It's called a peshesh. It's referred to as the warrior crown. You can see the raise your eyes. So he's engaged in a battle against the negative forces of mind. And his counterpart on the other side is Heru Beret here. And Heru's Beret name is written here. And Heru Beret has a spear, and he's spearing down. So you seeing them on opposite sides, it means that there are reflections of each other. So your own Heru nature is your own Purdah nature aspect. This is a symbol for the spiritual aspirant for yourself. And what we've done so far, what I did is label the parts of how the translations are gonna go. A, B, C, D, E, F. And And then we started the actual translation. And it starts out, I would say, in a profound way. It says, Wun at en pet zesh au em aklet. And means, for word translation, it'd be open door to heaven, unbold, forcefulness through horizon. So it means open the door, the passageways to heaven by unbolting with forcefulness the door and pass through the horizon. And this line is written here. It's written here. So this is why this is referred to as lesson 1. And it opens, this text opens with this very profound statement on the side of where the Purdah is. So what it means is that when you go in here, when you travel, this is a special room inside with figures of divinities and metaphysical process. So when you come in here, you're an aspirant. It means that this is what is to be occurring inside as you go in through your spiritual practice. And further, it means that that's what he is doing. And in turn, it means that that's what you must be doing. Within yourself. And this term, one of the highlights of the term of this text is this term. Zesh. Zesh Owl, actually. These two. Unlock with forcefulness. Zesh means to unbold, and Owl means forcefulness. And so it means to unlock the gateway to your own inner mystic region with spiritual force. So this is something you're doing with the mind. And where do you where do you get that spiritual force from? Oh, your Shedi disciplines. Because there's something that occurs in the mind with your Shedi disciplines that allows you to transcend the liminal threshold of time and space. And when they use the term heaven, pet, is not to be confused. Here's pet, means heaven. Is not to be confused with the Orthodox religion view of heaven. This is referring to a mystic region within yourself where there is spiritual bliss. So you're not going up in the sky to meet someone. You're going within yourself to meet your own inner divine. And so you have to unbolt the barriers that prevent you from experiencing this inner higher region within yourself. And what are your barriers? Your barriers are like anger, envy, jealousy, and you have to continue to work on them and attenuate them until they are no longer preventative factors. But from an advanced mystical perspective, it means to unlock the psychological disposition that you hold that causes you to remain in perceptual interaction with the physical plane of existence. There's something that's keeping you tied to the physical, and that thing that's keeping you tied to the physical is your own psychological construct. In other words, you hold ideas and internal philosophies about life and about existence and non-existence that are tying you down to the earth plane. That's essentially holding you back. And if you go through the spiritual evolutionary process that counters those preventative concepts, you remove those concepts, then it is possible to experience the higher mystic region within yourself. It's referred to as PET, heaven. And you have to develop a forcefulness. So your mind, it means that your mind must become highly concentrated. And when your mind becomes highly concentrated, it means that your concentration is essentially effortless. And the factors that prevents your higher consciousness attainment are essentially removed. So you unbolt the door. So this symbol here, this gives the key to the issue that the sages are referring to. This symbol is a door bolt. Oops. Here. It's like this. So you have a door, right here. You have a door with two sides. I'll raise it and draw it better. You have a door with two sides, with two flaps. So when you pull the door open, you have two flaps. And then to lock the doors, you have two metal rings. You have a metal ring here and a metal ring here. And then you have a metal rod that goes through. And that keeps the doors closed. And that door bolt is the Z hieroglyph. Also can be seen as S, depending upon the context. So your mind must become so highly concentrated that with force, you unbolt the doors. So these doors, the doors are a metaphor for the passageway to the inner mystic region within yourself. So your mind must become so highly concentrated that and this is metaphorical language, is occurring within you. So highly concentrated that you, with force and energy and power, take out the bolt. So you unbolt the door and then the door is open. So then the door is open. And when the door open, you pass through. The it tries to create it tries to guess what you're drawing. So you pass through, and then by going through this doorway, then you find yourself in Pet, this higher mystic region within yourself. This is highly metaphorical, but highly mystical teaching. So the door, the flaps of the door, these represent anger, jealousy, pride, lust, vanity, etc. And you're trying to unbolt that. You're so that you can pass through. So these doors are the preventative factors that will not let you through. So with forcefulness, and again, the forcefulness comes from your spiritual process. If you're faced, let's say you're faced with a death in the family, the problem is not the death in the family. The problem is your perspective on how you're going to handle it. What is your perspective of life? The truth that you're trying to uphold within yourself. And that higher truth that you uphold, that is you unbolting the door to the higher mystic region within yourself. So you have to stay concentrated. If you lose your concentration, the doors are going to remain bolted. If you maintain your concentration throughout the whole process, you are unbolting the door with spiritual force. And that is a path to the higher mystic region within yourself. So Dua, I wasn't able to pull up the pyramid file because of, I'm fine, I'm okay. It's just I had a migraine, but I'm okay. And I was going to, as you saw, call off the class, but I felt your energy in your presence. So I hope this little lecture was fulfilling and gave certain insight into your process. Similarly, the concentration is what happens when a new person is born in your family or in your life. What is your disposition? What is the confrontation of birth and death in your life? If you remain concentrated, you'll be unbolting the door. If you get elated, overly elated, and yay, this is a new baby, and the door is remaining bolted. Similarly, if you are dejected and grieving without reflection, you can grieve, but what is the reflection? What is the process you're going through? Without that reflection, you're keeping the door bolted. So how are you facing the illusory manifestations of what is purported to be by the impure mind birth and death. The pure mind does not see birth and death, sees something else. So birth and death is an imputation on the impure mind. The pure mind, the concentrated mind, sees something else. And that is that releases you from the being grounded and allows you to go through to heaven, the heavenly plane. So dua everyone, until we meet each other again. Hit